From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, August the 21st, 2023. An Israeli woman was murdered and an Israeli man seriously wounded in a terror attack today in Judea and Samaria, the West Bank. The two came under fire while driving on the local highway in the area. This morning, the IDF said the tragic shooting attack took place on Route 60 adjacent to Hebron. The injured civilian, they wrote, currently receiving medical treatment. IDF soldiers are pursuing the suspects and blockades are set up in the area. The injured man who was driving the car was named as Aryeh Lieb, said to be in his 40s. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition, but is said to be stable. The woman who was killed, who had gotten a ride with Lieb, was named as 42-year-old Batsheva Nigri. Her 12-year-old daughter, who was also in the car, was not physically hurt. The attack today follows another deadly shooting in the area where on Saturday afternoon a father and son were murdered. 60-year-old Shai Silas Negreger and his 28-year-old son Aviad Nir were shot to death at a car wash in the Palestinian town of Huwara. The two residents of the southern city of Ashdod would often go to the town to run errands. The Times of Israel cited Shai's wife, Rina, telling Army Radio he would go to Huwara all the time. He was not afraid, and he would say, "Those are my friends there." The father and son were laid to rest side by side in Ashdod last night. The IDF searching for suspects in both attacks. The U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control last week sanctioned a Lebanese-based environmental group for serving as a cover for terror group Hezbollah, stating that Green Without Borders has provided support to and cover for Hezbollah's operations in southern Lebanon along the blue line between Lebanon and Israel over the last decade, while publicly operating under the guise of environmental activism. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Brian Nelson said the United States rejects Hezbollah's cynical efforts to cloak its destabilizing terrorist activities with false environmentalism, and designated the group and its leader under an executive order which targets terrorists, terrorist organizations, leaders and officials of terrorist groups, and those providing support to terrorists or acts of terrorism. IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari welcomed the decision, calling it an important measure in combating Hezbollah's terrorist activity and upholding regional stability. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is in Israel. Adams flew out last night, sharing this video message about the trip.
Aboarding our trip headed to Israel, a real partner for us in the region. Many important stops. Number one, technology. We also are going to go to real important religious sites that we will focus on and have meetings with governmental officials to continue to strengthen our relationships here. So we'll keep you updated as the trip goes forward. Thank you.
The mayor's office was also cited, saying that Adams will discuss combined efforts to combat anti-Semitism during his meetings on the three-day visit, which is sponsored by the UJA Federation of New York, together with the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York. The Combat Anti-Semitism movement organized an interfaith and intercultural welcome reception for the mayor in Jerusalem this evening with faith leaders and senior officials. Well, two Israeli windsurfers took home the gold and silver this weekend in the women's IQ foil category at the Sailing World Championships in the Netherlands. New world champion, 25-year-old Israeli Shachar Tibi, took first place, marking Israel's first world title in a decade. And 24-year-old Kati Spichakov came in second. Israel's President Isaac Herzog met with the young athletes yesterday, saying they brought an amazing achievement to the Israeli sailing industry and to the entire state of Israel. Herzog also noting that Shachar, in a moving gesture, dedicated her win to former multi-time world champion Israeli Lee Korzik, who is battling cancer. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, August the 21st at 7 o'clock. Yehuda Kurtzer is in the spotlight with Abby Pogrebin. At 8, Shachar Azani sits with Marcella Rosen about her mission to raise global awareness of Israel's extraordinary but little-known contributions in science, medicine, tech, humanitarian work, and more. At 8:30, progressive Zionists share how it is possible to hold progressive social views and be a staunch Zionist. At 9, Ryan Hyman talks about the life-saving work of Ezer Mitzion. At 10, a discussion on living and aging well. And coming up next, it's Good Week, Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, August the 21st, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.